faces from every nation. I wanna find a place that's for conversation, where they discuss all the latest movies, or when something big happens in the news. See, that's us, what are we talking about? So what are we talking about today?
Hello everybody and welcome to What Are We Talking About. Today I am going to give my review of the Three Body Problem, the book by, I cannot pronounce the author's name, it's like Cixin Liu. I'm butchering the name. But yeah, I'm just gonna give a quick review. Basically, I'll tell you a little bit about it without spoiling it. It's a heavy science fiction book that involves, like, it literally involves string theory and higher dimensional, basically higher dimensions. Yeah, it's extremely high concept, I would say, where you kind of have to have a pretty good understanding of science. They do a pretty good job, though, of explaining the things that you might not know about. So you might not need a high understanding of science, but if you do understand some of the higher aspects, including multiple dimensions and like the 11-dimensional string theory idea, if you know about that, then it adds a little bit to the book, but you might not be lost if you have not learned about that. And so it's just kind of this whole big story, and I can't tell you that much without giving away, because there's a lot of twists and stuff like that, so I don't want to spoil anything. But overall, I just want to say it's an incredible book. It's one of the best books I've ever read, in my opinion, but I also am extremely fond of science fiction, and so I highly recommend it. If you have not read this book, read this book. I audibled it, and you might still be able to get it on sale. It was on sale here for the past like month, but yeah, definitely check it out. It's really good. So for the spoiler, I'm going to talk about spoilers now. So the incredible thing is you're discovering all the stuff at the same rate as the main character of the book, or whoever is doing that stuff. So the idea of the whole, it's called the Three Body Problem, and you can kind of guess what that means originally, and then as the story goes, you know, as the guy's understanding it, you're kind of understanding it maybe a little bit before, and you find out that the Three Body Problem is basically a planet that orbits around like 3 stars, and the unpredictability that is involved with that, involving seasons and even days and stuff like that. So basically, the guy goes into this game, and it's like a virtual reality game where it's like you're having to figure out this science, and that part is really interesting and really cool to hear about. And he goes back multiple times. But the coolest thing, I think, is the Trisolarans. When you finally get to discover about the Trisolarans, and they're having the protons that they fold out into multiple different dimensions and all that stuff. That's really cool and really well explained. And I think that this is a really unique book, and it does a really good job of setting up the universe, and like, you definitely know what's going on. The whole, like, I never felt lost while listening to this book. At the very beginning, when there was some things that would be in it, and I'd be like, why was that there? But then later, it all makes sense, and it all ties back together. So I think it was incredibly well done. And the reveal that this chick told the fucking aliens to come there and destroy Earth or whatever. It's basically almost like a superhero villain, where it's like, cleanse the Earth because the Earth has become a bad place, and we need basically Earth humans are above the law, in her opinion, at this point. There's a whole segment with the guy who is a trans-species or pan-species communist, which was a really interesting segment, and it tells you why these people think the way they do and stuff like that. And my only issue was, I finished reading the book, and it was like, yeah, so humans are akin to bugs compared to these people, but bugs always survive, and then they're coming in 450 years, and then the book ends, and it's like, whoa, 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 I want to know more. Luckily, there's more books, and very soon I'm going to be starting reading the second book in the series. Right now I'm listening to American Gods. I'm just about done it, so I'll be doing a review on that also later today with Logan. But yeah, overall, I thoroughly love this book, and it's an incredibly interesting thing. The scene where the woman kills her husband because she has to in order to kill the other guy, it's an incredibly powerful scene that's like, these people will stop at literally nothing because they don't even care anymore about humans because they know what the future holds. And it's just such an incredible book, and I'm probably doing a horrible job of explaining it. So just go out and read this book. I personally love it. I think you guys would love it. And if you have read this book, I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments section. I mean, if you're going to comment on spoilers, put that there is spoilers at the top of the comment, just so that other people who haven't read the book don't accidentally read spoilers. I know I'm always upset when a big spoiler happens that changes that. It's better to discover some of these things while reading the book. And this book does an incredible job of, like, it's incredibly well written. And the coolest part about this book is it's written not from anyone in North America's perspective. It's written from somebody from China's perspective. And so they see the world very differently. And that's one of the coolest things. It's different than most of the books that I've read. So, like I said, I highly recommend it. If you have any thoughts on this book, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what other people think of this book. I don't know very many people who have read it in North America. I mean, I'm sure lots of people have, but yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts. Hit me up in the comments or tweet at me at WhatWeTalkin, at Winter Trooper. Let me know. Thanks for watching, and you know what? Until next time, never stop reading.